Hello and welcome back to Animal Crossing. Today, I don't even know what to say. This was a hectic video because I put in probably almost 3 hours worth of work on this video. It's 15 minutes. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And, um, let me just cut this short. The whole video, mainly almost all the whole video, I realized in, post that the game was so laggy and it was like glitching. So I'll leave in a few clips of that. Usually the sped up clips are the ones that were glitchy. So yeah, if I didn't say so already, I'm decorating all my villagers' houses, all in asterisks because two of the houses were already perfect, so I'm leaving those how they were. So I will finally address the video you are actually watching. I am decorating Alice's house. Now, she was first alphabetically and first in the neighborhood, so she kind of has to make a good impression, which that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I actually do not hate the houses that they are given when they're like move in. I'm almost positive this is like a starter house. If it's not, then oops. But I'm almost positive it is because I think I've had her that long. Anyway, I was not insulted by this house. So, as you've seen, I'm basically just recoloring some items and putting on a new tune. For some reason, I will spoil this. A few of my villagers had this same song on. It was KK Lullaby. I'm like, why does everyone have this song on? It was a little weird. Anyway, so along with recoloring items, I'm just throwing a few down because I want it to feel, 2.0 update. Anyways, back to complaining about the inconveniences that have plagued my entire day, one of which being I was supposed to record a voiceover for this entire video, so I wouldn't have to be sitting here right now doing that. But oh, that didn't work out because, well, I'm glad I didn't actually, because I think the whole video would have been unusable if I did, because what I did notice was when I did record a voiceover for the first half of it, which you didn't see obviously, um, the video was extra glitchy, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but it can also be an inconvenience. So, on the same breath, I had to order new cables because I'm pretty sure that's the error I'm making. I'm not even sure because this issue hasn't been prevalent ever except for now, and I'm thinking maybe it's the cables. See, this is the glitchy I'm talking about. I even sped up this clip. It looks better sped up. So, that being said, we're on to Dina's house. It was horrible. It kind of matches her, right? Look at her in the top. It kind of matched her. So I had to change the vibe up a little because it was a little bit of an eyesore. Now, imagine my shock when I walked into her house expecting her aesthetic to be like a library girl. What do you mean, music? So, yeah, I was kind of planning these designs in my head like the past couple days. And for her fully, I was imagining her like kind of Molly's aesthetic. If you Google Molly's house, that's how I was imagining Dina, but I was very wrong. So I kind of had to brainstorm on my toes here, which some may say I didn't do very good at, but I think I kind of pulled it together. It's not much of a house as it is like a exhibit in the end, but I don't know. You can be the judge of that, or don't be the judge of that. Here I am trying a little hack that I used a lot in Happy Home Paradise on my other save, but girl, I was not feeling that vibe. And then I had the aha moment of a freaking partition wall. So obviously we need to put that in. I just gotta trial and error this a little bit. I was thinking of making like a grand entrance how I used to on Happy Home Paradise. I need to stop referencing that because it's not like you would ever know. Maybe no, I was just about to say maybe you would because I think I posted them on the Happy Home Paradise thing, but girl, whatever, nobody fucking looked at that. Anyway, so I wanted to make an entrance, and that's why I went onto the soundscapes because I thought I could expand the house. Well, no. Well, you can't do that. So I put a healing noise on instead. So after troubleshooting that, I decided she seems like someone who'd have a cuckoo clock. So I put one up. And I'm not even kidding. I said that verbatim in my head. I was like, she does seem like she'd have a cuckoo clock. I said that in my head verbatim, and then I had a thought, and it was like, oh, so for the people who don't speak in their head, or have like an inner dialogue, whatever you call it. I just wonder how lonely that is. I genuinely cannot understand that. I would say I talk to myself 100% of the day. There's not a single moment in my brain where I'm not like debating something with myself, having a thought in my head that I'm talking to myself with. But how would you not have that? And how can you not picture like a yellow lemon in your head? I say that because Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass is right in front of my face and wonderful lemons on it. Is it lemons? Maybe it's oranges. I don't know. That's up to the human eye to discover. I have no idea what this is. Anyway, great poems. You should actually check that out because I love that fucking book slash audiobook slash vinyl. The vinyl is on my wall. Anyway, yeah, the inner dialogue thing just bothers me so much because I genuinely can't believe people can't do that. Maybe there's like a IQ difference. Speaking of IQ difference, one of these days I'm gonna make like a video doing something in the background, but mainly doing a tier list of maybe my favorite artists' albums because I want to rank Lana Del Rey albums, but there's so many, I'm not even sure I want to do all of them in a video. But I think if I ranked one per video, that'd be too short. But I digress. As you can see, we finally finished Gina's house. Sorry for the glitching, of course. Maybe I'll do a walkthrough some other time. But now we're on to Eon's house. Honestly, there was no way for me to even consider re-recording this because it is literally done and over. So I don't even know how that would have happened, or I just had to fucking post this. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, so I went into Eon's house, discovered it was beautiful. All I did was recolor it, and literally that's all I felt the need to do. Like, come on. Anyway, we've we quickly skipped that over that and we went into Mac's house. I discovered that it was a landfill, quite literally. And so I spent quite a while discovering what would look good on the walls, took everything out of his house, changed the flooring, added a cute little carpet, and decided I need to reinvent his aesthetic completely. Honestly, I'm using a little creativity in my brain just to create this focal point fake window vibe. Anyway, I went into this video kind of iffy because I was like, oh god, how am I going to do this if I have literally no furniture because I haven't been playing on this save very much. But little did I know, every single thing you use on Happy Home Paradise catalogs. And so I smiled to myself and laughed maniacally. How do you say that? Maniacally. I can spell it in my head, but I can't say it. I think you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I laugh evilly. That's what I'll say. Anyway, so I reinvented his aesthetic. He's not a sloppy dog anymore. He's actually a dog who loves plants and, the mountainside. So we put a lot of that in there. He also likes to play table sports, apparently. So, final view of that. Redid the outside of his house. It looks cute, I think. I thought about that design long and hard. So, I just added as you saw, I just added a freaking wreath onto its walls house because I think her house is perfectly fit for her, and I think her house is perfectly fit for her inside as well. So all I did was change the song, really. And then I went in and added like some wall decoration and roof decoration because I feel like that's literally all her house needed. Like, this is her, the little twin stars. And I will give you a little tidbit of my life. After seeing Etoile and how she represented the little twin stars, I was like, oh my god, I love the little twin stars. I need a shirt. So I went out and searched for a shirt, and thank god Target had one. And I still have it to this day because, yes, I love Kiki and Lala still. Thank you, Etoile. And I also have a tattoo saved in my phone that says Etoile on it. I think that's a little too corny, but it's in my back pocket just in case I feel corny one day. Speaking of tattoos, I just got a new one. Hey! I won't be posting it, but it's good to know. Just in case I'm like a little pouty one day and you hear it in my voice somehow. That's why, because it hurts. Anyway, we quickly move on to Judy's house, which I only added a wreath on again because we're getting like perfect pebbles in a pouch right now. All these girls have great houses, so I changed her song. I'm just gonna rearrange her furniture and, like the other houses that I liked, just add like a few plants or whatever. I I think for her house, I was trying to overcompensate, kind of like keeping it the way it was, but also moving it around. So I decided I wanted to keep the bench there, and then I moved the bed and decided I want the bed there instead. And then I was like, I didn't change enough. Let me go in and put some more shit in. So I tried to change the flooring, and I decided I hated that because the rugs look stupid. So I just changed it to the back to normal. And then I found that hexagon one, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is like the pretty pastel vibe. And of course, with any aesthetic I'm creating, I'm going to add a shit ton of flowers and greenery to the building because apparently you can't have enough in my book. So, oh, speaking of books, I'm gonna put a book on the table because in my head, each wall reads. And she reads about beautiful butterflies or something, which just so happened to be an option in this book, so I selected it. You didn't get to see that because it was so glitchy, and the rest of this video was kind of iffy, so you got another sped up tutorial. Anyway, here is Lobos. That's his aesthetic I decided on, and ugh, I'm still iffy about it, but I walked into his house and I was surely surprised. All I did was change the walls and the floor, and then I decided, oh, he needs this huge shaggy rug, which I discovered on my first playthrough through Sahara, obviously, and I was like, okay, this is my favorite item in the game, question mark. So yeah, pretty easy house. I just added lanterns and decided that, yeah, Lobo, you did well. So the last thing I did was change his music to KK Metal. I'm not really sure why. I actually like the song he had on before better, but we all make our mistakes. This is his house, and I think it's cute, and I'm glad he decorated it that way. Now we enter our final house, which is Puddles. I love her house now. I seen that house design while I was decorating somebody else's house, and I was like, okay, we need to incorporate this, and I totally forgot I had puddles, so it was perfect. Anyways, so I started off by changing her flooring to match her little like blue pink aesthetic, which I think is perfect. So now we add a little bit more funky pieces into the house, like these stained glass lamps, and kind of go to town. I really liked what she had in her house besides that blow up couch, whatever that is. But we needed to organize it because why is the booth in the corner of the room and the TV's all the way over there? Did she have a TV? I think she did. Anyway, so I basically moved it around a little bit and wanted the couch to be the focal point of the house because it's so cool and teal. Is that teal? That's up for debate, but I think it's teal. Anyways, so of course, my famous greenery at this point, so you have something nice to look at while you're staring at a TV all day, probably. But other than that, I really like these new 2.0 items. Okay, they're new in the sense that they're new to New Horizons, not new time wise. Anyways, so I've recolored that wall. I actually love the blue. So pat on the back for me. And what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I like the blue color they added in the 2.0 update, if that makes sense, like the blue of that toy machine. I feel like that was a new color they added. Because I never seen it before. The blues in the game before were a little dull. So we're finishing off this house by adding greenery and a little magazine. Or I guess, what do you call this? This is obviously called books, but I would say that's like a little thing you buy at Home Goods or whatever, like those big keychains people put on their coffee tables. That's kind of the vibe. So we're ending off this video by editing my house because I realized as I walked out of my villagers' houses that my house was also disgusting, so I needed to change it up a little bit. I've used this same combination on at least 3 of my islands, and it's honestly tried and true. I'm not moving from it, so I think this is fine for me. And I went ahead and thought maybe I should be a little bit more adventurous, but ultimately I decided I didn't need to be that adventurous. So we're basically keeping it casual for this playthrough and using the exact same things I've used in previous playthroughs because that's just how I roll. So at this point, I'm basically done. I'm done with this little house. So we go reload into the game. This was my first recording of the ending, and it just was so disgusting I had to scrap it. So here is a horrible montage of what happened. I'll do another tour when I get my cables, but for now, thank you so much for watching this video, and I learned my lesson. I slapped myself on the hand for this, but I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.